welcome back to the channel and welcome to another closer look or unboxing, if you like, of a package I received of another Beatles album. As you can see by the title, it's Let It Be, which is another one of my favourite Beatles albums, probably about my third favourite of their albums. So that's arrived, so I thought we'd have a look like we did with Abbey Road, just because I enjoyed doing it, and a few people said it was good information for seeing stuff to see if they want to pick it up themselves. So let's not waste any time. Let's have a deep down look here at the Beatles Let It Be. So here we are then, guys. Let's have a look at this. I ordered this from a shop called Dig In Records, so I highly recommend them to you guys. I ordered it at a really good price and it came, guys, about 2 days. It came within about 2 days, so I highly recommend that seller. They're really cool. So we're going to have a little look. So I have opened the box. There it is. We'll just take that out. We'll move the box out of the way. Just let me have a look that we fit all this in the camera. That's a little bit better. There we go. So as you can see, it's another wonderful looking set from the Beatle family. And on the back here we've got a track listing of all the albums and stuff that are in this box set. So let's have a little look. Let me find my glasses and we'll have a look, see what it says here on the sticker. Okay, it's a 6-disc edition. New mixes by Giles Martin and Sam McKill. Let It Be, 2 CDs of outtakes, jams, rehearsals and studio chat, plus the Get Back album, which is a 1969 mix by Glenn Johns, plus Let It Be EP, Blu-ray Dolby Atmos, so it looks like it's 5 CDs and a Blu-ray, 100-page hardback book with in-depth essays, track by track recordings and information, and forward by Paul McCartney. So we're going to try and take off this cling film. So it's going to be a bit of a boring video for a few seconds. Well, for a few seconds, John. Who are you kidding? Yeah, so it's going to be a bit of a boring video while I try and very gently remove this cling film, if I can. I'm going to try and get a little start on it here. I was going to try and preserve the actual one that's over the discs, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. No, it's not. So unfortunately I'm going to have to take this one off, but we will try and preserve the sticker, and we will find a home for that within the box. So let me just move these away for the moment. As you can see, it's a very unique box because it's been hollowed out. It's so when you take the content out, it's like a hollow box, but it's nice quality box. I guess you could always have a different picture on there if you wanted a change from the normal album cover. So I will show you what that would look like if you wanted to change the cover, because obviously there is a envelope in here with different pictures, so you can easily have it looking like that if you like. But why would you want to? You'd want the classic look of the album. Right, so here is the contents. So the first thing we get is our CD, so let's position ourselves. Right, so if we can maybe make out most of that on here. So here we have the 6 CDs. Set out like traditionally, like a lot of these sets are. Like again, it's good that they've got the titles here, but why not write the track listings underneath as well? But they haven't anyway. So we'll have a closer look at each of these discs. First one is obviously the Let It Be album. The track listing is Two of Us, Dig a Pony, Across the Universe, I Me Mine, Dig It, Let It Be, Maggie May, I Got a Feeling, One After 909, The Long and Winding Road, For You, Blue, and Get Back. And it should be on the Apple label. There we go, the green apple, and he said blue apple in. What's the matter with you, Josh? So that is disc 1. Really cool. Disc 2. Let me pop it in there, guys. Is the Get Back Apple Sessions on disc 2. We have on here, excuse me, got a bit of a cold coming on. Morning Camera Speech, Two of Us, Take 4, Maggie May, Fancy My Chances with You, Can You Dig It, I Don't Know Why I'm Moaning, Speech, For the Blue, Take 4, Let It Be, Please Please Me, Let It Be, Take 10, I've Got a Feeling, Take 10, Dig a Pony, Take 14, Get Back, Take 19, Like Making an Album, Speech, One After 909, Take 3, Don't Let Me Down, First Rooftop Performance, so that's a live performance. I think it's the only one that's on here of the rooftop concert. The Long and Winding Road, Take 19, and Wake Up Little Susie and I Me Mine, Take 11. I think most of these tracks are going to be taken from the Get Back documentary, a lot of this stuff. So that is the second disc, which is Apple Sessions. So that's at the Apple Studio. Disc 3 is Get Back, Rehearsals and Apple Jams. Again, I also think it's going to be from the Get Back sort of documentary files. On here we have On the Day Shift Now, Speech with All Things Must Pass, which is George Harrison's song. Rehearsals, Concentrate on the Sound, Gimme Some Truth, John Lennon's song. I Me Mine, She Came Through the Window, Bathroom Window, which I think is a Paul McCartney song. Polythene, can't read it. Polythene Pam, Octopus Garden, Oh Darling, Get Back, The Walk, Without the Song, Jam, featuring Billy Preston and John and Ringo. Something Rehearsal and Let It Be. So you can see some of the Abbey Road songs creeping through here on this disc. Those two discs are kind of linked together, which kind of covers, I think, like I said, that Get Back documentary. This disc here, disc 4, is the Get Back LP, 1969 Glyn Johns mix. So this again was probably what it was going to be, but it obviously didn't pass and they released Let It Be. So it's Get Back with Don't Let Down and 12 other songs. I do like the cover and I like all the setup, like a very old Beatles album. It starts with One After 909. There's a melody of I'm Ready, Save the Last Dance for Me and Don't Let Me Down. Track 3 is Don't Let Me Down, Dig a Pony, I've Got a Feeling, Get Back, For You Blue, Teddy Boy, Two of Us, Maggie May, Dig It, Let It Be, Long and Winding Road, and Get Back Reprise. So it is a different track listing. There is different tracks on it, so that's pretty cool. It's just not a rearrangement of the original Let It Be. So this looks like the release that Glenn John would have put out. So that's wonderful. Same sort of thing happened with the latest Who box set. There, Who Are You? That there's an album in there of Glenn Jones's mix that just didn't see the light of day. Disc 5 is the Let It Be EP. I like that. So on here is an EP. We have Don't Let Me Down, the new mix original single version. Let It Be, new mix of the original single version. So it says it's an EP, but it looks like there's only 2 tracks on it. Let's have a closer look at the actual disc. No, it's got more tracks on it. It's got Across the Universe, unreleased Glenn John mix. It's got I'm Me Mine, unreleased Glenn John mix. It's got Don't Let Me Down, new mix from the original. And it's also got Let It Be, new mix from the original single. So it's got 4-track EP there. Which, to me, I think maybe they could have put it on one of these discs, to be honest. But there we go, they didn't. They put it in as an extra disc. So disc 6 will be a Blu-ray. It's a Blu-ray of the original album in your Dolby Atmos sound quality. So we don't really need to go through the whole track listing again. I think this is red, if I remember right. Yeah, it's a red Apple. There we go. It's Blu-ray audio only. There is no video footage in this set. So that is the disc, all set out very, really nice. Another great addition, very similar to the Abbey Road. And you've got pictures there of the Beatles there in their famous imagery there, like from the first sort of album. And like I said, you've got the alternative pictures on there with nothing on the back apart from the Apple symbol. So we'll place that one back into the box. You also get an advert for the Get Back book, which is the authorised companion book for the Beatles Get Back film directed by Peter Jackson. The 50th anniversary album release of Let It Be. So yeah, and there is the album that we are looking at today. So we'll pop that in there and we'll have a look at the book. Just bring you down slightly, guys. So there is the original album cover pictures. On the back, again it's blank, just with the Apple logo. Hardback book, come in. Once again, lovely quality. So there you go, that indicates that it was going to be called Get Back, the Glenn John mix, but then obviously that got, I don't know what's wrong with Glenn John, because the same thing happened with the Who. Got sort of like changed and got called Let It Be. Great pictures there, the lads. I'm expecting a lot of these pictures to be from that documentary again. We have a foreword in here by Paul McCartney, an introduction by Giles Martin, and Glenn John Remembers, and it goes through all the rehearsals and a track by track. So here's the picture of Paul McCartney and his forwarding. It looks quite camp there. Hello. It reminds me of Vivian Stanshaw in the video for Jollity Farm by the Bonsai Dog Doodah Band. He does that. Who's that standing in the back? I don't know. But yeah. There's that introduction by Giles Martin. They are rehearsing. That's in the Apple studio. That's in the Shepperton studio. Because first of all, they went to Shepperton like film studios to. I think they were planning on making like a concert thing there, but it just sort of fell apart due to disagreements with the band and one of the band members walking out. That's Glyn John there. Again, lovely picture, but ruined by the crease in the middle of the pages. I'd rather it just be on one page. A few pictures there from the rooftop concert with people watching from down below and people actually climbing on roofs to watch. There's George. It's quite interesting there. It says, I got up, I went to Twickenham, rehearsed until lunchtime, left the Beatles, went home in the evening. So that's what happened. He had Paul, if you watch the documentary, Paul was quite wanting his way all the time and stuff like that. And I think George just doesn't like the feel where it's going, and he actually left the Beatles there. He walked out. But after a few, I think nearly about a week, they managed to persuade him to come back and carry on that they were doing. But yeah, it was nearly the end of the whole thing there because he walked out. Back there at the Shepperton. Some great shots there on the roof. What do you want to do now? Yep, and like it states in that documentary, they were rehearsing to do 3 live concerts in December of that year, and they were going to record this album live, and it was going to be like a live album, but it all fell apart, and they ended up doing it, like I said, on the rooftop of the Apple studio, which is in Savile Road, I believe, in London. Nice picture of Paul there. Left-handed bassman. Now we're going to the track by track. So again, just like the other one, it will break down all the tracks that are on the album. The 2 of us, it tells you who the vocals on there and who played what. Billy Preston was on Digger Pony. Across the Universe. I Me Mine. Which I believe George sang that one, I'm sure. Yeah, George was on lead vocals, Paul was harmonies, no John Lennon on that track. There's Billy Preston. I think Paul met Linda during these sessions because she was like a photographer who came in to do photos and that, and I think that's how they met. That looks like a piece of paper there from John. This is great. I love this. Let us be. Getting some pictures of some old master tapes. And people do say, well, why do they put this sort of stuff in there? Who's bothered with that? To be honest, I think it's quite interesting because the only people that ever see this are the band and the people that work in the studio. They don't ever see these sort of things. So to see it, I think it's quite historical for the album to see these sort of things. I really like it when they put stuff like that in these pictures. There the guys there in the studio being getting ruined by the centre of the page because you can't even really see Ringo. Got a feeling. Good track, that one. See, I prefer pictures like that when it fits upon the whole page. I believe the vinyl picture, the vinyl book is exactly the same if you buy the vinyl box set. It's just obviously a tiny bit bigger. Good track for you, Blue. That one's sung by George Harrison. Get back with a picture of them on the rooftop. The whole line up there. Is the fifth Beatle on there? No, can't see him there. We can't even see Ringo being obscured by John. But yeah, here's some more of the master tapes from the studio. Don't Let Me Down. Teddy Boy. Savile Row, guys, not Savile Row, Joff. And these are going through the tracks that are in the Apple sessions where they recorded, because some were recorded at Apple Studio, sorry, and the others were recorded at the Twickenham, Shepperton, wherever it was. Yeah, it was Twickenham, not Shepperton. Shepperton, I'm thinking of the Who again, and it's sorry guys, just because I've been listening to that over the last week. I've been digesting that box set, and their stuff was rehearsed at Shepperton. This was at Twickenham. Please forgive me once again for being stupid. But you know what I'm like. I always get my information, I'd say 70% right and 30% twaddle. But there we go. I've got a couple of Billy Preston albums somewhere. Get Back to Let It Be. I don't know what title I like best. Get Back or Let It Be. Don't know. Could have been worse. Could have been Could I Dig a Pony, couldn't it? Mind you, Across the Universe would have been a good title for the album. Let It Be original motion picture score available on Apple Records and cartridge and cassette. Obviously it wasn't a movie, it was a live concert, which is on the Get Back set, which I highly recommend. Credits of the albums there, and once again we have the full track listings there. And that's it, and that's the end of the book. So let's just dig that out. I'm going to pop that in there. Let me open this, because what I'm going to try and do is preserve my sticker while I've got it here. I don't think I'm going to save this sticker, guys. I'm being a bit too brushy, heavy-handed. We'll see. We might be okay. Let me just try and stick this in here. I just like to keep everything as a part of my release, really. There we go. Doesn't have to be straight. I quite like it when it's not on the straight. But there we go. We'll pop that in there. We'll bring our box back over. And we'll slip that inside there. And that is a closer look at the 50th anniversary CD release of Let It Be. So once again, guys, I am so sorry for the misinformation. So please don't go commenting down below. I know I made an error. Yeah, the rehearsals and the first part of the sort of Let It Be sessions was not at Shepperton. It was in Twickenham. Shepperton was the Who for Who Are You. It's just because I've just recently been going through that album and listening to it, so that's why I just got a little bit mixed up. So please forgive me. Yes, so this does include recordings from um, the Apple Studios and Twickenham, which was where they were rehearsing, and they were originally going to be doing like a concert, I believe, inside this like film, sort of like big sort of like shelter, like an air raid shelter, like no, not air raid shelter, like an airplane sort of aircraft shelter. And they've been turned into film studios, and I believe Ringo was involved with making a film at the same sort of time. So the company thought, well, let's make this Beatles thing at the same time, and that's where they started off doing it. But it all sort of fell to bits when George decided to walk out after disagreements and not liking the way it was going. Um, and then, so when they managed to speak him to come back, they decided to go to a new venue, and that's where Apple Studios came about, for Apple Records, in Savile Row in London, and they went off there to record it there, and then they performed it live on the roof of the Apple Studios, which is on the Get Back Blu-ray, which I highly recommend getting. It's very, very cool, very in-depth sort of insight of that sort of sessions and time. And you see the police turn up and stuff like that, telling them to take it down. But there we go. But as you can see, I have my Beatles Abbey Road canvas up, which I bought from the Abbey Road studio. It's awesome. And right above it there is the Abbey Road sign, which I didn't buy from the Abbey Road studio, as they were asking for £125 for it, and Amazon were asking for about £9. There's no argument there. So, and I'm happy. That's all I wanted it for, was to stick up with my Beatles thing. So that's really, really cool to have another classic Beatles album in my collection. Now, yes, it's probably my third favourite Beatles album. My favourite is definitely Abbey Road, but my second favourite is an earlier one called Rubber Soul, which I love. And unfortunately, they haven't done a 50th anniversary box set of that. They have done a few others, which I'm and ahhing, but I was talking to my friend Rob a few days ago. Said I don't know if I want to go down that rabbit hole. I mean, because there's a Sergeant Pepper one, there's a Revolver one, which is on my sort of look list, and there's a White Album one, but I think the White Album one's probably going to be silly money, because that was a double album, so that's going to be probably quite a few discs and stuff like that. But I'm happy, guys, with the two I've got. And to be honest, you don't need everything. You know, you don't have to have everything that comes out or everything that that band releases. I have the albums um, already. I will do a sort of overview of my Beatle collection shortly. But again, Beatle fans, if you ever watch this, don't laugh, okay? Because I don't have a massive collection. I'm a very humble collection. I don't have everything. I still don't even have the Beatles at the BBC yet. But I do have on pre-order the Beatles anthology CD set, which is coming out at the end of this month. So I will do a sort of closer look and unboxing of that. Once we've done that, I will go through my Beatles collection, and I will go through my top 10 favourite Beatles albums. I'll try and put that into one video its own. So that's cool. So that was a closer look here at the Beatles Let It Be. Thanks so much, guys, and there will be some more coming out. I've got a couple of box sets on pre-order, so keep your eyes out for those if you're into my music content. Cheers for watching, guys.